Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy. It's Johnny the 5'8" here, man. And I never got a chance to do it, so I want to do it. I want to give Spider-Man 2 a review, talk about some of the good things, some of the bad things, give you my overall thoughts on it. I'm not going to spoil it too much. I'm going to keep it as spoiler free as possible. So let's get into it, man. First off, the gameplay, all the gameplay stuff, like the combat, all that. That was pretty good, pretty decent combat stuff. The only thing I didn't really like about the combat was the fact that they added the parry system in there, and it just really messed with me because I was so used to hitting circle to dodge from playing Spider-Man the first one in 2018 and then the Miles Morales one. I was so used to just hitting circle to dodge everything that it kind of messed me up a lot of times, and I just completely forgot that I had to use that L1 button, because it was so imprinted in my memory to use one button to reverse everything, from the Arkham games and then, of course, the two Spider Man games before this one, the Miles Morales and the Spider Man one. It was just imprinted in me to not use any other button but circle, and I had to try to make myself remember, oh, yeah, you got to use L1 too. So I think they could have used a different button than L1 that probably could have been easier for people to remember. Like maybe do like circle and X together to block attacks or parry attacks, or just hold circle and then for dodge press circle. Like hold circle for block, press circle to dodge. Could have done something like that. Could have made it a lot easier, or just make circle do every block and dodge. I don't know. Could have just went that route, but yeah, that was a little frustrating. I can say that. Um, Overall, that's the only really downside to combat. Other than that, the combat was really fast paced type of combat you would want in a Spider Man game, and just good combat overall. Same combat system as the last two games, except for the parry stuff I talked about. So yeah, combat system was great. Combat system was good. No complaints from the combat system. Gameplay wise. The swinging was great gameplay wise. I like the addition of the web wings. It made the swinging more fun, and it was fun traveling through the wind tunnels and stuff at times. So the web wings was definitely a nice addition to the game. I did like those, and just swinging around the city with the web shooters, that was fun as well. Doing the air tricks, that's still in there. Fun stuff with that. One thing from the gameplay side I didn't really like about Spider-Man 2 is that it doesn't let you replay missions at the end of the game after you beat it. You have no way to replay any of the missions, any of the side missions, any bases or anything you took down. You have no way to replay them after you're done with them. You can go in the pause menu and check, and there's no way to do it. Like, you can see the missions you've completed, but there's no way to replay them, which I think kind of sucks because, like, if you want to do like trophies and stuff, like let's say you wanted to get a trophy, but you have really no opportunity to do it now because you beat the game, and you did it like damn near everything. Now you got to go back, start a whole new story just to get that trophy. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Like, that's just an example, but you know what I mean. You can't just like replay a mission anymore. So I wish they definitely put that back. I wish they put that back for sure, where you could just like replay missions after you completed the game. That would be cool. Um, all right, what else? What else I want to talk about? Okay, let's get more into the story side of things. Now that we're here, the story. I enjoyed the story of Spider-Man 2 a lot. It was a great story. The story of the game was amazing. Great great villains, awesome characters. It was a great story, man. You know, so I say the story of the game was amazing for sure. Um, the main story was fun to play. The main story was great. No problem with the main story for real. Awesome main story. No issues with it. I mean, I do think some things maybe they could have just done with cutscenes. Like riding the bikes, I really didn't think that needed to be in there. Like, like riding the bikes with Harry. I really didn't think that needed to be in there necessarily. Like, it's a Spider-Man game. I don't really want to ride a bike for a main story mission. Like, it was fine. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't like super mad about it, but it's like it could have been done in a cutscene. You know what I mean? Um, so there's that. uh, Playing the circus games was a fun bonus. Uh, that happens later on. It's not really like a super spoiler because it's just circus games. It has nothing to do with the story for real. For real, it's just some stupid stuff you could do during the story. Basically, it's not really a spoiler or anything, you know. Yeah, it's just kind of like bonus stuff. Um, what else? Side missions were kind of lackluster. I mean, they're really just the side missions in the Spider-Man games have just kind of been lackluster in my opinion for the last couple games. Like I just feel like there's not a lot of side content in the Spider-Man games. Like I feel like the huge bulk of everything story-wise and that type of stuff is in the main story. I feel like the side missions don't really get a lot of attention. Like most of the side missions consist of you just usually receiving something, trying to get some stuff, stolen stuff back, or, doing something, kind of doing some stupid quest around the city where it's like you gotta, do some dumb stuff like, get pictures or, you know, what is it, solve a puzzle around the city to find, um, talk to some person's grandpa. That's a side mission in the game. I swear to God, you have to talk to you have to literally talk to someone's grandpa as a side mission. It was cool. Don't get me. I mean, it was. I mean, the conversation was cool, I guess. But it was like, why did we have a side mission where I have to find someone's grandpa who wandered off? Like, that should not be a side mission. Why? Like, I like them to do more of like what Arkham did with their side missions, where you go against villains in the side missions. Maybe like lesser known Spider-Man villains in the side missions. Like that would be interesting. Like maybe go against villains that a lot of people don't really know about for the side missions. Like there were. Now, don't get me wrong. There were side missions that did have boss battles for real. For real. There was only like two of them though, and truthfully, they weren't like the most entertaining. And one of them wasn't even really against a villain, so yeah, it was just really not that entertaining of side missions for real. So that's one thing I'd say they definitely need to work on in the next game is make some more entertaining side missions. Uh, yeah, definitely. Like if I want to play a side mission, I want to play like something that is going to be awesome to play, is going to have some fun value in playing. The side missions in Spider-Man 2 were just retrieve this, do this task, that do this task, beat up these people, those type of things, man. Just those type of tasks. And the one side mission they did have, they didn't even do anything with it. Like, they just ended the side mission to, like, save it for the next game or save it for the DLC. But at that point, or save it for, like, DLC or something. But at that point, it's like, why even put it in the main game if you're just going to save it for DLC or save it for the third game? Why not just hint at it with an Easter egg or something? Or just show some hint at it with another side mission. And then at the end of that side mission, something happens that leads up to show that person is going to be in the next game. You know what I mean? Like, why even have it be a side mission if I'm not going to be fully able to like, if I'm not going to be able to fully, complete it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be able to fully take down the main person for the side quest. If they're just going to leave and then be like, oh, well, you know what? We have to stop for now. And, yeah, we'll go over it later. We're taking a break, basically from that side mission, just like, yeah, well, we're taking a break now, so yeah, no more of going after that person for that side mission. No more of that. It's just like, why even put it in there? Anyway, that's not the point. It was a very good game overall, though. I did enjoy the villains they had in it. The villains they chose were great villains for the game. The Spider-Men played amazing roles in the story. Obviously, they played amazing roles in the story, for sure. The Mary Jane Taser stuff, I didn't really like a whole lot. Like, it was all right. I mean, at least it was better than like the first game where you had to sneak around and she didn't have a weapon at all. But it just slows the pace down. And as a Spider-Man game, I don't really like having the pace slowed down. You know what I mean? Like, I like having like, you know goods amount. When I'm in gameplay, I like to have that Spider-Man action. I like to have that high octane action. I don't like having the pace slowed down to do these MJ missions, whether she has a taser or not. Like, I think she's fine if you want to keep her as a side character, but I just don't want to play as her. Do not make her a playable character. All right? I don't want to play as her. I don't. It just like slows down the pace way too much. Way too much. Way too damn much. It just slows down that pace. Um so yeah, with that being said, I think Spider-Man 2 is a good game overall. The missions are great. The the main story is great is what I meant to say. The gameplay and combat is great. I mean, the gameplay and combat's good. It has its issues, but it's still good. It's the same thing as the first two games. The block and parry system can get confusing for muscle memory and just habit. I messed up a lot of times doing that. So that's my only takeaway. But the combat system is generally good. It's the same thing as the last game. So if you like the last game's combat system, you should be fine with this game's combat system. So yeah, it's good combat system. The swinging mechanics are good. I like the addition of the web wings. That added to gameplay makes it really cool. The symbiote stuff, like the symbiote specialties, those are cool. I like having that. That was fun when you got to play at the symbiote specialties. Those were really cool. Um, I like, I liked all that. So yeah, I'm gonna give Spider-Man 2 a. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It was a good game. It had its problems. It did some things that maybe they could have done better, but I feel like the problems overall were very minor, and the game in itself was a good game. So I'll give it 8 out of 10. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.